like ever since The Binding of Isaac came out, every dungeon-crawling shooter with roguelike elements gets compared to it. Deathstate, a bullet hell roguelite, was released on PlayStation 4 on April 25th, 2017, and of course will draw such comparisons. However, there are some key differences that make this title stick out in both good ways and bad. Deathstate starts off fairly ominously. You receive a message from a professor who went missing 3 weeks ago, and of course it is your job to find him. It doesn't take long for things to go awry as you get sucked into what is known as somewhere in between. This is when we get a first look at the game, and the first thing that stuck out to me are the visuals. Admittedly, I am a sucker for good-looking pixel art, and Deathstate delivers with crisp and colorful visuals. On the gameplay side of things, Deathstate is your typical roguelike twin-stick shooter, though it does lean a little bit more towards the bullet hell side of things. There are quite a few different types of enemies in Deathstate, like skeletons, mushrooms, and all sorts of baddies. On top of that, there are boss battles at the end of every world, and these are the highlights of the game. The bosses are huge and require a lot of skill if you want to defeat them. Speaking of skill, Deathstate is a very hard game. You're going to die a lot. However, it always feels like it's your fault and not the game's. There's nothing inherently cheap about the deaths. You can always be better, and each time you die, it's a learning experience. Since this is a roguelite, every time you do die, you have to start over. So it is a big deal, as one wrong move could be the end of your run. The levels are also randomly generated, so Deathstate never becomes boring even with repeated deaths and runs and having to start over. All that being said, there is one huge negative. When playing a twin-stick shooter, I like to be in control of what I'm shooting and where I'm aiming. Deathstate takes this away from the player and shoots at whatever it wants, when it wants. This is a problem, as sometimes it'll shoot the wrong enemy, or just not shoot at all. This didn't lead to too many deaths, however, it did take away some enjoyment from the game for me. Another design choice I personally wasn't a fan of was the timer on the levels. If you spend too long in any one level, a mist will start to rise, and if you get caught in this, you're basically dead. On a more positive note, the music in Deathstate is good, if a bit subtle. It fits the theme well and matches each place that's encountered. However, I wouldn't say it's quite OST worthy. In the end, Deathstate is a game that's pretty good at what it does. It has vibrant visuals, good music, and some above average gameplay. However, not being able to shoot for yourself takes this game from an A down to a B. This has been Andrew Holmes for UberCrit.com, and I will see you next time.